In today's video, we show how to flush the coolant on the Porsche Boxster. We share a guide and the parts and tools required. We show how to do it without disconnecting half of your coolant hoses and without having to blast compressed air through the system. Lastly, we show how to fill and bleed the coolant so that there are no air pockets in the system. Put the Boxster in hover mode, that is, on jack stands at all four corners. See my full-length guide for a simplified, step-by-step walkthrough on how to do this. Jack it up high enough to fit a large bucket underneath to hold all of the coolant. To remove the rear underbody panel, remove a few Torx T25 screws on the sides and 10mm plastic nuts in the middle. We're about to drain the coolant. In order to let it drain better, remove the coolant cap. The Boxster and Cayman hold up to 6 gallons of coolant, so get a bucket that can hold that amount and disconnect the small coolant hose from the water pump here and the large coolant hose from the thermostat here. First, use tongue and groove pliers to move the clamp onto the hose. This might take a bit of finessing and a bit of wrangling. You want to remove the hose from the water pump first in order to reach the clamp on the thermostat. It takes a bit of wrangling, but eventually they come off. Next, we want to completely remove the rubber hoses. The hoses are likely stuck on there. They are quite stubborn and also take some wrangling and finessing. I work them loose with a flathead screwdriver, being careful not to puncture the rubber hoses. Eventually, they start dripping a little bit at first. Alternate between picking at them and pulling on them. Let the coolant drain for a bit so that it doesn't splash you while you're working. You can squeeze the hoses to force air into the system and convince more coolant to come out. Once I gave mine a few squeezes, coolant kept coming out. If you tilt the car at any point, more coolant might escape. Once the water pump hose has stopped draining, we can stop it up with a paper towel. Do the same technique on the thermostat rubber hose. First we remove the clamp, which you can see we have already done here, and then we push and pull. Push using a flathead screwdriver and pull using our hands. And let that drain. There are alternative approaches when flushing your coolant. We have disconnected the two hoses, one leading to the water pump and another to the thermostat, and shortly we'll immediately reconnect them. However, at this point you can disconnect additional cooling hoses if you desire for a more thorough flush. What we will do instead of disconnecting additional coolant hoses, and instead of investing the effort in blasting compressed air through the system, thoroughly making sure that the coolant flushes from the radiators, we can simply fill and bleed the system with distilled water, make sure it circulates thoroughly by driving a little bit, and then flushing once again and finally filling and bleeding using coolant the second time around. That's what we will do, and that's why some of the procedures you see online might vary. I like my method because it involves disconnecting less coolant hoses. To reattach the hoses, first we slip the old clamp back onto the hose. Encourage the new pipe on. Then we put the old clamp back on, making sure to put it on far enough and expanding it pretty wide such that it rests past the lips on the water pump and thermostat.
Out here. Likewise, this should go on relatively problem-free. And there we go. Feel around because there's a lip, and you want the hose to be over the lip, and you want it clamped after the lip.
A vacuum bleeder is an $80 accessory that creates a vacuum in the system, sucks out air pockets, and helps suck in coolant. Some people swear by vacuum bleeders and say they're absolutely necessary. Others swear by them not being necessary. The Boxster and Cayman have a valve built in, specifically designed for bleeding air from the system. And there are people out there, including myself, who have successfully filled and bled the coolant system with zero issues using the built-in bleeder. In this video, we're about to fill and bleed the coolant using the built-in bleeder without having to purchase a vacuum bleeder. I'm going to allude to using coolant to fill the coolant system, but the first time around that I did this, I used distilled water and filled the system with water the first time around, and did the whole procedure twice to also, while doing this, get all of my old coolant out. So when you hear coolant, you might want to use distilled water the first time around to fill and bleed your system. Later, we will drain it all, and then do it again using real coolant. The procedure is simple. We will list the whole thing now to let you screenshot it, and then we show the procedure. I will also include this detailed guide in the description if you want to print the description out to have as a followable reference, because some of these steps move quickly. 1. Open the bleeder valve. To open the bleeder valve, remove the coolant cap, remove the oil cap, and remove the plastic panel underneath. Right after, reinstall the oil cap. Move this metal clip to the upwards position. This opens the bleeder valve. Get your Porsche OEM coolant and mix it in a 1:1 ratio with distilled water. 1 gallon of coolant and 1 gallon of distilled water makes 2 gallons of usable coolant. The pink fluid prevents freezing and has other properties. If you add too much, it won't cool properly. If you add too little, you run the risk of your coolant freezing in the winter. Don't worry about super specific ratios. These mismatches only happen if the ratios are totally out of whack. With the coolant mixed, get a flashlight and shine it on the coolant level. It's a little hard to see. Add coolant to the reservoir until it's at the max line. You should hear it bubbling and you should hear air escaping. We're almost ready to start it and bleed the system. If you have a manual transmission, skip ahead to the next step. If you have an automatic transmission, you will need a digital tool to electronically disable the cooler shutoff valve. On the 986, we could have pulled fuse B1, but on the 987, this fuse is D5 and is used for other vital functions and should not be pulled. Therefore, we will need a video that demonstrates how to disable the valve electronically. Here is a video that demonstrates how to disable the valve electronically. Start the 987 and turn on the heat to the max level. While it's idling, keep adding coolant back to the max level until the level stops dropping. This takes a minute or two and a refill or two. Give it a few revs, not too much, and add coolant if the level drops, back to the max level. Close the coolant cap, but leave the bleeder valve open. What I found is particularly helpful to success in bleeding air from the system without a vacuum pump is parking on a steep hill. Find a steep hill and park the 987 with the rear up. The hill should be steep enough, such that the reservoir is above the radiators. That will help force the coolant in and air out of the radiators. This is not required but is strongly encouraged for a better bleed. If you're unable to find a steep hill, then I recommend bleeding the air once without a steep hill, following the procedure as written here, and then repeating the procedure once you find a hill. With the car neutral, rev it to 2500 RPM for 10 minutes. Taking a break every 2 minutes to go back and check the coolant level is not below the minimum mark. If it is, add coolant by turning off the engine, waiting until the coolant cools down, and slowly and carefully remove the coolant cap and add coolant until the max line. If you don't wait long enough to open the cap and don't do it slowly, hot coolant can spray everywhere. While you're doing this, the temperature gauge should not exceed 180 and the heater vents should start blowing warm air, indicating there's coolant in the heater core. If the temperature gauge climbs too high, then you need more coolant or have too much air in the system. Assuming you reach the 10-minute mark successfully, rev it to 2500 RPM for another 5 minutes. During these 5 minutes, now we rev it briefly to 5000 RPM every 30 seconds. This will aggressively force the coolant through the system, in a good way, pressing out the air pockets. After the revving, turn the engine off and inspect the coolant level. Let it cool off and then carefully remove the cap and top off the coolant. Lower the bleeder valve and reinstall the plastic cover. Drive the car normally for 1 or 2 days and then check back in. Top off the coolant and you're good to go. If the temperature gauge reads too hot during driving, then repeat the bleeding procedure to get remaining air pockets out. It's not recommended to go on prolonged drives for a day or two after doing this, so you can get home easily if needed. I did this whole procedure twice, since my system was overdue for a coolant flush. First, I completely emptied the coolant system and the old coolant and filled and bled the system with distilled water, drove it for a bit, and then emptied the whole thing again and bled the system again, this time using the final coolant mix in a 1-to-1 ratio. We acknowledge that it's a lot of raising and lifting and lowering the vehicle, but leaving the underbody panels off earlier will have let us check for leaks and be thorough. At this point, we raise the Boxster back up, reinstall the underbody panels now that we've made sure there are no leaks, and then lower the car back down. Over the next few days, watch your temperature, watch your coolant level, and top off as needed. And enjoy the additional mileage you've gained by flushing the coolant. Thanks for watching.